Hello, my name is Dr. Sandra Rios, and this is Technical Report Writing. This PowerPoint presentation is going to be about the organization of information. Organizing information is one of the most important skills for an undergraduate student to learn in a technical writing course. The way you organize and present your ideas can make the difference between achieving your purpose for writing and not achieving your purpose for writing. Writing that's difficult to understand, that is not logically organized, will turn off your reader. They will not want to continue to read what you've written, and you will have wasted your time and not accomplished your purpose. Remember that the cardinal rule for technical writing is write for your reader, not for yourself. Technical writing is reader-centered writing. In other words, you need, as the writer, to put yourself in your reader's position and anticipate their needs, their questions, and areas in which they might have problems following your argument or your presentation of information. So technical writing involves anticipating your reader's needs and understanding that what you know and what they know and what they need to act or to solve a problem is a lot different from what you have in your mind. There are three principal guidelines for organizing information. This information comes from the textbook Technical Communication, A Practical Approach by Pfeiffer, printed or published in 2006. The three guidelines are the following. Write different parts for different readers. Technical writers should be aware of the fact that their audience will not read their document the way a reader reads a novel or a short story from beginning to end. Most technical readers will read parts of the document, the parts that give them the information they need in order to make a decision or act. Emphasize beginnings and endings. If readers are going to read the document selectively, then the question is, what parts of the document are they going to select or choose to read first? And those parts are the introductory parts and the concluding parts of any document. So that's why the most effort in writing a document needs to be placed in creating introductions and conclusions that are clear, well organized, and easy to understand. Repeat key points. While it might seem that readers might be bored reading the same ideas or having to deal with a lot of repetition, if a reader is going to read a document selectively, in other words, they're not going to be reading from the beginning to the end the whole document, the main idea needs to be repeated so that you remind your reader, this is what you're reading about, this is what my purpose is, this is what the structure of this document's all about. So that if they don't read or they've read the introduction a week ago and they're now reading about the budget, by repeating the main ideas that you stated in the introduction, they are reminded about what the main idea and the purpose of the document is. So repetition is usually positive quality of technical writing. Here is an outline. This would be how the parts of this document would be organized. This outline would start with an introductory summary of some sort, present background information, methods, cost, liability, and then a conclusion. Most readers will start by looking at the introduction. That will be their first step in reading the document. If they like what they read in the introduction, if the introduction is well written, the ideas clearly presented, then they will proceed then to the second step, which is to do a more focused and detailed reading of the document. This will involve them in reading background information, methods, costs, or the budget, which might have been looked at in the first quick scan, will be examined in more detail. The liability, that means any problems or disadvantages that may occur as a result of the proposed project or actions. And of course, the conclusion. Step 3 is going to be returning to or following up on any of the parts maybe that were read skimmed quickly, or that the reader wants to refresh their memory. The reader will then go back and read any part of that document that they feel they need to examine in more detail. So as I've explained, technical documents are written to be read in chunks or pieces based on the reader's need for information. The ABC format is presented by Pfeiffer in their textbook, Technical Communication, a Practical Approach, as a mnemonic device. But what I mean by a mnemonic device is a strategy that in this case, writer can use to remember the different parts of a technical document. A stands for the abstract or the summary or introduction to the document, where the main points, the main ideas, and the purpose of the document are presented to the reader. B stands for the body, where all detailed information, background information, supporting details is presented. And then the conclusion is a part of the document where the writer presents information with a summary of the main points. Closure explains to the reader that this is where the document is going to end, and then gives them the information they need to act in the future. Here's a more detailed explanation of what information needs to be included in the introduction, and then the body, and then the conclusion. In the introduction or the summary, often we do what's called front loading. This is another term that can be used. Front loading means to put all the most critical information, the main ideas at the very beginning. You load the beginning, the front of the document, with the main idea, a purpose statement or statements, and some sort of an outline or roadmap of the rest of the document so that the reader knows what to expect in the rest of the document. B is for body. In the body, you put all the background information, all the historical facts, all the past research, all the statistics and the data. And this is where you put the graphics, charts, tables, digital photos, where you put formulas and equations. All detailed technical information goes in the body of the document. The conclusion at the end of the document is the part that gives closure to the document. The reader feels, okay, I've gotten to the end of the document and I've been presented with all the information, so that the reader feels that now's the time to stop. The conclusion provides the key points, or summarizes, so repeats the key points, and helps point the reader to the next step. What is the next thing that needs to take place as a result of this project, or having completed the proposed actions? Okay, so the ABC format, a general mnemonic device so that the reader can remember the three main parts of any well-written technical document and the information that each contains. The ABC format is used for whole documents, whether the document is 1 page or 100 pages. The ABC format can be used to organize and present information. Not only is it used for the whole document, it can also be used for sections or parts of documents. And even a paragraph or paragraphs should be organized using the ABC format. How do you organize a paragraph using the ABC format? Well, for example, the first sentence will be the topic sentence. The second and third sentence will be the body. And the fourth or fifth sentence will be the conclusion of that paragraph or transitional sentence that will lead the reader to the next paragraph, the next step in the document. Here's a checklist for writing the abstract or the introduction to the document, the technical document. Okay, so the abstract should contain the following elements: some background information, a brief overview of the document's main points. Again, the main idea, the main points of the main idea, the purpose statement or statements, and a list of the main sections that follow the abstract or the roadmap about what the reader should expect in the rest of the document. Here is a document that I have presented. It's a proposal, a real actual proposal written by the following authors: Colleen Choi, Patricia Flatley Brennan, and Charles Kalish from the University of Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. And I'm including here the introduction or the summary so you can see how these writers use the ABC format to organize information. Here is the abstract or the summary, sometimes called the abstract, the summary, the executive summary of the document. And I've highlighted the different parts of the abstract so you can see how the different sections or parts of this document follow the ABC format. The part in yellow here is the main idea. The part in blue, the part in blue includes some brief background information that supports the main idea. And then in pink, you can't see very clearly, you have the purpose statement. It says the primary purpose of this project is to examine the congruence. Okay, so in this abstract, you can see you have the main idea, some basic background information that supports the abstract, and the purpose statement. Here's the introduction to the document. The introduction also starts right off, it front loads with the main idea. And the main idea is restated from the abstract. In other words, it's very common to repeat the key points. So here we have the main idea, the first sentence of this introductory paragraph. At the end, you will see a justification for the research. This is a proposal for some research on how children and doctors or healthcare workers interact. In this section, we see the purpose again, repeated. Again, remember, repeat key points. And the purpose can be repeated and repeated, restated, paraphrased in different words. Again, another sentence that states very clearly the purpose of this proposal, the purposes of this paper, so that the reader has a clear idea when they finish reading what the purpose is. And finally, the conclusion of the introduction explains the outline or presents a roadmap or outline to the rest of the document. And you'll see it says to accomplish these two objectives, this proposal will consist of the following three components. And you see the first part of the document, the first component of the rest of the proposal will be a description of two theories. Second, there'll be a study proposed. And lastly or third, there will be the feasibility of the proposal will be addressed. Okay, so you can see how the outline of this document has been presented. And this is all in the beginning, the abstract of, or the introduction to this proposal. Now the body, and I'm afraid I have not included that in this PowerPoint presentation, but the body then will consist of the two theories, description of the proposed study, and the feasibility of the study. So then there will finally be a conclusion to the document. I have not included those parts. Now, I would like you, after having seen this PowerPoint presentation, to do the accompanying assignment, which is writing your project memo for this class using the ABC format to organize and present your information. Thank you very much.